Hi, my name is Daniela Carr, and today I'm going to be talking about The Subtle Art of Not Giving a by Mark Manson. Happiness is actually our ability to solve problems. All the problems that you perceive to have in the specific moment, how can you either change your perspective or find a solution to solve those problems that you might have? So Mark Manson talks about actually writing down all the worries you might have and stresses in your life, and how exactly you can start tackling those problems one by creating a solution or by changing your perception on how you see that problem. And this is so valuable because it will actually show you that most of the time you have imaginary problems. Mark Manson talks about and argues that embracing and accepting our imperfections and flaws can actually allow us to embrace a more happy lifestyle. It's actually about realizing that you cannot be all things good and perfect all at once, that there's a specific time, a specific season of when you need to get things done, when you need to rest, and what you can accomplish. So acknowledge your limitations in this world and be more acceptable of what you can actually do in this specific moment. You have to think about all the high achievers in life, like Steve Jobs, like Jeff Bezos. They're not perfect at everything. What they are good at is focusing on their specific strengths and highlighting what makes them great. The book highly emphasizes the need to focus on the correct values to have in life. If you place your value on other people's opinion, you will never become happy and satisfied within your life because it's not something you can technically control. You cannot control the feelings and thoughts of other people. This understanding will actually free yourself from the unhappiness that you might already feel. Stop stressing the things you cannot control and start focusing more on what you can do to create the life that you desire. So really start small. Begin to list all the worries and problems and stresses you might have in your life and try to give solutions or different perspectives of how you can see the stories that you tell yourself. Start to eliminate the problems and worries and stresses you have that are simply outside of your control. I mean, you can plan in 10 years time where you want to be, what you want to be doing, but in actuality, you cannot predict exactly in detail how your life will turn out because there's lots of highs and lows. There's lots of unexpected things that might pop up. And this is the unpredictability of life. This book really taught me the importance of just letting go, to practice more detachment, to let go of the ideas that you hold so tightly in your head. So what I want to do right now is actually challenge you to let go of one major stressor in your life. Think about something that's constantly on your mind, that weighs you down, that drains you. How can you slowly let that go? How can you begin to just stop feeding that thought or idea so much energy? And what would your life look like beyond that point? In a world that demands your attention at every single turn, how can you choose where exactly your energy goes? It's about understanding the power of acceptance, accepting where you are right now, accepting what might happen, what might not happen, and just being okay to just sit with it, to sit in the mud for a while, and to be okay with where you're at. So Mark Manson talks about the feedback loop from hell. It's basically where you have a certain problem in your life and the only thing you try to do to solve that problem is by worrying about that problem. And it actually talks about how worrying just gives you more anxiety and doesn't necessarily solve your problem. Unless you can actually think your way out of a problem, then I encourage you to think about it longer. But if thinking won't change your problem, then stop thinking about it, stop worrying about it, and stop obsessing about it. So learn to choose your struggles and choose your problems. Every single person has a problem, and it's about choosing the problems that you want to deal with. I also want to emphasize the role of responsibility and how much control we have over our lives, more than you think you do. It feels empowering to say that I have the responsibility and the choices that I make from this day forward to dictate where I want to go in my own life. And it feels more empowering than putting all your energy and power in another person's hands. There's also a big importance of saying no. remember, when you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. So you need to clearly define what you want in your life, and if it's not a hell yeah, it should be a hell no. There are huge benefits to understanding your own resilience and how exactly you need to push through your own discomfort. It's actually about choosing your problems, choosing your struggles, what is worth giving your energy to and what is just absolutely not worth it at all. I also want to talk about the value of negative experiences and how those exact negative experiences can show you who you are, what you want and desire in your life. And the negative experiences are actually the best teachers in life, showing you and teaching you all the valuable lessons that you need to learn. You need to prioritize your depth. And I mean your depth in your work, your depth in your relationships with other people, and stop spreading yourself thin and trying to go wide, but actually go deeper in who you interact with and who you try to get to know. You need to recognize the impermanence of everything, that everything is changing and growing, everything's alive, everything will continuously be moving, be at a state of transformation. And it's beautiful, but it's also sad because there's a part of me that wants the comfort, the stability, the reliability, the constant, but nothing is ever constant. Everything is always changing, and it's really, really hard for me. I recognize that most things are just temporary and just let it go, and it's not that serious. Manson talks about the law of avoidance, and this is when you have a really big decision to make and you try to avoid it, and this can actually lead to a bigger problem down the road if you don't make a decision right now. It's good to make a decision and stick to it, and this won't lead to so much headaches down the line. I want to talk about also the pitfalls of entitlement and the expectations you might place on other people and sometimes yourself can really be the reason why you may be feeling stressed out all the time, is because you have such high expectations of what other people are supposed to do for you, or what you feel entitled to have or to be or to see. And you can also place such high expectations on yourself, and you need to cut yourself some slack. I need to cut myself some slack and understand that I'm only trying the best that I know, and most people, everybody is trying the best that they know. Stop focusing on the trap of comparison, on thinking that the grass is greener somewhere else, and recognize where the grass is green in your own life and how you can continue to water your own grass. Stop thinking that everybody has a perfect life and they don't have the problems that you have, and realize that we are actually more similar than you think. We all have really similar problems, and we all want the same things in our life. We all want our ability to feel safe, to feel loved, and to experience the world, to have fun, to laugh. There is actually a paradox of happiness and how the pursuit of happiness can make you think that you don't have happiness right now. It makes you think that you need to do something or get somewhere or be somewhere to actually feel happiness, when you can feel happiness in this exact moment. If you change your perspective, if you allow yourself to feel that happiness that you want to feel, and to live in that vibration right now, and that can attract all the beautiful things you want to see in your own life. Learn to appreciate rejection, because rejection is redirection, and try to get faster to those points of where people don't accept you, of when situations are not going to work, because you can go in the direction where you need to be faster. You should smile at those moments when things don't work out, because you know you're getting closer to what will work out.